Good afternoon, everyone. It's Thursday, the 30th of January 2020. So I went to the clinic this morning for my left shoulder injury, and I have two torn ligaments, one in the front, one in the back, and I'm off work for a month. I'm gonna need some physio for my arm, for my shoulder and my arms. So my employer were not the most thrilled about that, but me personally, I need the vacation. I need to rest. As you can hear in my voice, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, and the workload that was coming ahead was just the drop that was gonna overflow the vase. It was too much. Seriously, the amount of work I had by myself was too much. I couldn't. I was exhausted Tuesday doing my job, and I just couldn't do it anymore. When my left shoulder and my left arm like just collapsed, and I dropped the chair on the floor, I say that's it. I'm pulling the plug for today, and I'm gonna go back to work and tell them what happened. So I went to the clinic this morning, which is a clinic of physiotherapy, and they're specialists in that field, and it was recommended me by the CSST, and so right now I'm going to be on recovery for a month. So this is why I spoiled myself to some Legos. I got a huge haul at about $90 plus, $95, $96 worth of Legos, so I can enjoy my time while I'm resting, and also work on the GODS project, the GODS device, to finish it. Whenever few days are coming ahead of me, I'll work on that. For now, it's just resting. I brought my the report sheet to my boss, and I'm supposed to be paid the same thing as what I am now every 2 weeks. The same. So it's not a fun thing, you know, but for me it's like another injury to my aging body, you know. I'm 46 years old. I have 30 years of work under my belt, and if they're not happy with me when I come back, they can just fire my ass. I'll find something else. It's not an issue. For me, it's not an issue to find another job. Soon I'll have the piece of paper that I want so bad. I've been waiting for a year and a half for that piece of paper. When I got that, every door is going to open to me. At least I hope. So, on the project, like I was saying on the other video that I erased because I say too much at one point, whenever I get the funding I need from the other guy, I want to start working on at Dr. Y's place. We're going to start working on the time portal, and I talked with Dr. Y, and he agreed to this, and he say like where he works, there's all the parts we need to make that. He has everything at his disposal where he works. He say I got like all the parts, we can start making the time portal. The hardest part is just making the structure. It's 4-side, the size of a door frame. It's just that I'm gonna have to evaluate between the 3 stories of the same design. Andrew Basiago's stories, the Montauk project, and the Navy project that was based on Nikola Tesla design. I'm gonna miss my truck, my Ford Transit. Oh, I'm gonna miss my Ford Transit. Sorry about that. I'm So right now, if you're listening to this, I am currently looking for a loan or funding for my project. And in the meantime, while I'm off work, I want to look for a space to work, a place where I can reestablish myself in office or something closer by and start working on the time portal full time. I'm not saying I'm gonna go crazy working on it, but I am gonna dedicate time to it because I cannot spend a month doing nothing. I'm gonna go crazy. I need to work, and I have other venue to make money. I will, and I want to sell my franchise, my company, Committed Solutions, which is a LED installation company. And the only thing that I have to sell is the whole of my product, my contact, and my services. Meaning that if the guy is doing an installation and he needs some input or information, I can tell him what to do. I can give him support to a certain extent. Some companies, they have a calling center, and that's what they do. They train their employees to offer support in a certain field, and what they do is they sell their franchise to people. And 80% of the times on that franchise, the people doing the job that they bought the franchise, they will have to call the service center, the call center, and ask them for technical support. So that's one thing I want to do. I can offer with my company, and I want to offer them at like a certain amount, x amount of price with a lot of parts that I have. Like I'm gonna get my toolbox and that's in the basement that doesn't serve any purpose, fill it up with the tools, with certain tools, and sell that toolbox with the rest of the things. There's probably just in that toolbox alone $1,000 worth of tools. And I'll see. I have 1 month to come up with the idea of selling this. I'm gonna show him how to make his own website. Whomever wants to buy that. It could be girls, you know. 2 girls that learning car mechanics and they want to specialize in something and make money out of it. There's a business for that. But for me personally, I'm not able to do that anymore. Completely drained. My work, the work I was doing drains me. And every weekend is reserved just for resting. That's why I couldn't manage to do any work on the God's device and to dedicate very little time to it, because each time I go in the basement, I don't have the motivation or energy. I'm just drained. That's why one of my investors will retract from this. Didn't see the end, you know. This project's been going on for 20 odd years, since 2003. So that's 17 years I've been at this. And my problem is I never got the partnership that knew a certain field of expertise and get another one that has a certain field of expertise that I don't, and then we could all work together and create that. And for me, one of the premises that I always offer is that I know how to build an anti-gravity device. The recipe is in my head and I know how to make it. But it's just that. I know it works because I made it before with previous associate. And we never took the venue of making the anti-gravity. We could say a term from Star Wars, which would be the repulsor device. The repulsor device is in Star Wars world is what they have under every heavy-duty thing they need lifting up. Well, I know how to make that. And one of the students that was following on Time No More, he made it in school. He made that thing, and it worked. And it worked being an anti-gravity device. It was lifting by itself under the power of electricity, and the more current you feed it, the more weight you could put on it. And it went from a small scale device the size of a soup can that was running at 100 volt AC, and it could lift, when he combined this with 3 other pieces, all of them together could lift 110 pounds. And the teacher says, we're not gonna go anywhere with this. We're gonna keep this under wrap, under lock and keys, and when the time comes, we'll use that. But for now, we're not gonna use it. The teacher's reason was saying that it's too dangerous of an idea to put on the market, and they could be in trouble revealing that idea to the mass public or the army. They would ask where it come from, because the army knows exactly what I know. They have the same repulsor device to run their own UFOs, except they're using millions of volts. It's lifting tons and tons, but it's not. It's a low-level device. It's something that can fly to maximum 35,000 feet. It cannot go into outer space. It's a planet-based device. You can use it on the globe, but you cannot go in outer space, because in outer space there's nothing to push against. So this idea would be something that I would build and sell to an investor, saying that we could sell this idea to somewhere else, to anyone else. I don't know who would want to buy this idea, but somebody who could benefit from this. So that's that. 1 month of vacation. A force to bed in. Forced not to do any lifting and not work. I never had it so long. Yeah, I did when I broke my collarbone when I was younger. But I was working on my own, and I was living with my dad. So I didn't have any stress. All I had to do was to pay my car. Oh, yeah. All I have to do now is wait for my parts and that piece of paper. I'm gonna be home when it comes. Right now I really need to put my focus on the GODS device, the new model I made. Yesterday, 2 days ago, I retracted the crystal quartz from the GODS device, and I was thinking really hard last night, saying that I could really use some money to buy the next ticket. And this morning when I checked my ticket, I had a $10 wins. So my actual GODS device works better without any crystal quartz. So I'm not gonna integrate that into the next one. I wanted to, but I'm not gonna. The next GODS device is gonna have 2 magnets with winding on each side, so when you hold it, you have some sort of Cadius effect in your hand. There's still a lot of work to put on. Mostly it's inspiration. It's something. It's when you're inventing something, it doesn't come easily. You need a certain amount of time for the final idea to come to your mind and says like, oh yeah, that's what I need to do. Just like when I was thinking how I could generate a gravity field, and then I saw that morning I took off a hard drive when I was looking for information, and when I took it off, the hard drive was spinning in my hand and it was really hard to turn. And then I say like, this is gravity. That's a gravity field. It's a force of gravity. And it's the hard drive I had 3 discs inside. So I'm telling myself, if I make something like that with 5 or 6 cylinders and a high-speed motor, maybe it will generate just enough of a feel to do exactly what I want. So that's why I'm gonna take the motor down to pieces, the hard drive, and I'm gonna take everything that I have left and try to play with them and see what I can do. Because I need to see on the hard drive motor if it runs on 12 or 5 volts. Like I say very often, if there was a moment in my life where I needed to win the lottery, now would be it. I wanted to quit that job. Seriously, I wanted to quit that job, but the freedom of it was very, very seductive and very fun. That I don't have to answer to many people. And I think to a certain point, the physical abuse of that work really got to my mind right now, and it's just drained the living crap out of me. I can't focus on doing what I'm supposed to do. This job I'm doing on cruise control, for me it's so easy. I don't even think when I'm doing this because it's not complicated. People will say like, well, what is complicated work for you? Well, for me, completed work is working on software, working with operational software, learning new software. This is my biggest cancer. I don't like to work with computer when it comes to software. I'm a hands-on person. When I manage people with my skills and experience, saying, I will treat you the way I want to be treated, and I expect you to give the same quality as I do. Where I am right now, the people I work with, they're very nice people, but there's a certain level of I don't really care, I'm just doing my job, that really stinks to my nose. Most people I work with are millennials. They're not close to my age. Every one of them are below 40 years old. They're between 25 and 39 years old. And the oldest one of all the office is my age. The accountant, she's 42 years old. But everyone else except the boss and the head designer, they're older than me for sure. The head designer is close to his 70s, and the boss is 54 years old. The owner of the company. So it's a good company. If I wouldn't have to do what I have to do, or I wouldn't have to do it so much, because when I started there, it was one chair I was going to fix. So I'm going to one place, I fix that single chair and go to another one. And during the course of a day, I could do multiple. I could do up to 12. But they got used to that. They got used to that from my side. And now, during October, November, December, it didn't end up being a single chair anymore. It was a mass amount of work. It was 21, 35, 60. The other company sent me to the police station to do 68 chairs in 2 days. You know how hard that is? It's ridiculous. No, for me personally, I didn't sign up for that. I was gonna go fix chair, not chairs. So that's what happened. They drained the life out of me. I didn't expect to feel like that so early. You know, May, sure, yeah. 9 months already. 9 months. No, I don't want to quit the job, but we'll see when I come back. I told the boss that if they need to train someone else for an hour, a volunteer to do my job, I can go 1 or 2 days with him or her and assist them and explain how to do the job. But for sure, I cannot do the job. My left shoulder hurts too much. This morning, the physician where I went, she made me lift my arm and everything like this. And when it comes to my left arm, my left shoulder, it was hurting like hell. Because the arm is attached to the shoulder, and this is where the problem is. My shoulder. 2 torn ligament on the shoulder. She say it's worse than a football injury. She was making me do something with my right arm and then my left arm. And when she said like, do like this, push on and this like this. And at one point she put her arms, 2 arms on my right arm, and she said lift. And I was lifting her little body. Like she was really skinny. And she was surprised that there was so much strength. But I was the guy, I told her, so like, I'm 200 pounds and you're probably 100. It's like I can lift you in my arm very easily. You're the weight of my toolbox that I lift inside and out of my truck. My shoulders goes through a lot of abuse during my work day. So the first night when I injured myself, I used my spray that I bought for my pain reliever, and it worked marvelously. That night I slept so well because I was completely drained and exhausted. And then it's not recommended to use it every day, so I didn't use it last night. And this morning like around 3 a.m. I couldn't sleep anymore. The pain was too hard, so I tried sleeping on my back to relieve the pain from being on my shoulder, and it was really, really hard. This is where I keep saying people don't know how to merge. I got my flasher. Leave me the space to come in and then follow up. Here we go. Nobody died. Nobody got anywhere. We're still in traffic with everybody else. Dumb driver. It's like right now here, this zone is 50k. It's a construction zone, even though there isn't that much construction going on. And during daytime, when there's no traffic, people here drive up to 80 to 90k, which is way off the speed limit. And here too, what causes traffic is you go from 2 lane to 3 lane, and then you go back to 4 lane, and then you go back to 3 lane. It's confusing because they didn't put any line on the ground. Oh yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna cut that short. It's 24 minutes long. I will see you all later, and I'll probably make the video while I'm working on the God's device tomorrow. I want to work on it. I want to work on the God's device and try it at night where there's going to be a huge jackpot to see if the lock it's supposed to bring and control will be potent. It's going to be critical on that night where the lottery is going to be at its maximum. And then I could finally get that year of recovery I wanted. A year of rest. And I don't mean like sleeping in bed all the time. I mean resting of like not working, not killing myself physically. You know, buy myself a bicycle, going riding again, get my cardio back to what it was before, if I can. Work my muscle. See here? three 2 lanes. Back in 2, back in 3. How stupid is this? Anyway, I'll see you everyone later.